Justice after setting up a committee to probe petitions. Now petition bana is funny. I know your mama send me back with me say wait. Now wait to me well be a woman also change the no. And until na what them say NPP for so snipers of okay yini eyiba. And now me read page 66. One call CSO so no mu kodi nkomo say ranka adena say omo edi omo ni esi omo ton say awon aban sika na aban dodo de no ye de edi bi enyeye CSO su ni ka ebo musuma yi mani tie de bom crude obi tua na mo ma ye mo say mo de mo ye chese and I'm sorry na CSO na mo attack ye omo ka ho bi na NPP lusu ye kwa ho ba no so Sija semi and a mention South Mashebe Janice over court. Lawyer Bafo one marching. Ghana Mamrano Makwan said the removal of the Chief Justice. My kika kwanya be fasu nyina. O my penny John Mama say Emrantia me ensem bi and I'm penny for me ensem bi day. Kwa do breno say onyi Chief Justice in frio. Ene obo achire. And what they call Wisa Council of State. And a Chief Justice Choba say na mo bom kwa du minim kwa du kro. And o man peri ma man na du. And na du no so de na no di sem koy. The Council of State and o man pani your mama futu no. Yati committee which means a prima facie case has been established. Lawyer na neje ba for wa marching. Pacho manyante ye na pese mi say no kre. Say what the atuja say sa na moyo mampani etwe court no kre
adia koso no adia sebe ijabe ayemshishie wa winda dia Ghana mai misriba na me ayadum da babi dube dia yewoni sebe edia betimasi the constitution and the democracy yapija bidu baby I agree so the agency that's why the basao yana nanubi edipidi edomo yi chaso yana nanubi so the wufri kuma na yatawana chiwomo well enti ayadibia then another video more and a tour at NDC or it a sad idea at a sano. You're to not say you're in the bassa because we dear gra 1 year and the army and I'm your from your mamma and be 18 so kuma Jimmy Janakotanamani. The dear not said it, yet ma and brought your mamma on the street. No, you know. One year near Sako. And the Sanko would be a one of the year 2000, dear one year. So he said, Yabako said, no, ya politicize it. She said, no, she said, quite don't so much as a Rollins Crano. So the Yakasse, Rollins version, and it could be a sure one. Intidia ono ne nambo suma omushire omunkwano enoko kakwa na amende mitoi ne mafu omunini ndi kwebe towabo so enti emon so ya bakosin ya politicizing it no eni esi degree insi na budi takwa obontiasie so she justice here we suffer Kanoa. Yasin Kessie. Nothing is really said. So we are something. You got your mama doing jacket in justice. Now, maybe no. About the service. No, so advocacy ordinance, advocacy justice. About the not taking the Jumano. Yana in Pabo in China, Minia, when I know Binia, I feel slow. You say, yes, Papa, I'm no. Or a member of parliament too, or Abemu, and now a minister, meaning of four. It's a good set. Now she is in Abojadison because we are several enemy. Sabi, the Kasudia, several enemy. Let us wear near Mamia, and now we're near Mawa, we pass and no other. Now see, on here, Namijuma, the bottom.
Now, what are Romao? Emrabe na wujina so ede semi akokot. I say Omanhene jina Ghana mra article 146 no so. E ba se ho no ma say
Omanhene jina Ghana mra article 146 no so. Also jina article 146 and they are suspended Chief Justice.
That's right.
So we did article 146 no. We say my exercise, the exercise of discretionary power. Discretionary power, they say, you can maybe the parliament, the parliament, and yet in the same year. Marano, I did, Marano, I'm ready, I'm money, the auto was saying, so keen at the same hour. So who person exercise here. You were a mamrani a money be a was saying this one. And you are no worker saying a mamrani a money article 296 of the Constitution. Remember the council said it's on 2961 now. It's no say I was so the paper Juma a bra. Sabi we exercise to I feel only sabi to me for say and I may the meeting Marano so say I was say with the Amamrani Amandini the Brunei regulations, regulations, either say being a constitutional instrument and also being a legislative instrument. Now with the associate examiner. And now I'm going to say, sir, legislative is our constitutional instrument. And I say, and say, I was here the two, the Juma, article 14610, sir, regulations, anyhow. So, now, anyhow, now, Omanhene, you know, international exercises to me, if you say, so Upa now be Upa when we say a dread day and a president did decide to say unsuspended and also be suspended. And then a regulation a little bit. My regulation only one. So see, there we say 2 years exercise, who exercise in fairness. So I say 2 years exercise, exercise in a manner which is capricious. So as I say, and you see, I make us say, anyone, you are swimming with some Omanhene exercises to me.
Article 146. This will not be the first time the head of an independent constitutional body be go through. And if former presidents were not minded to put in place our regulations now, why do you blame this one for it?
The former sebi constitution, it doesn't make an exemption. Constitution, say obi a breach constitution, that's will be a challenge here. It doesn't make it right. Say, assume see amasem into bentia there is no immunity for the breach of the constitution. So the constitution is being breached. This suspension, in the absence of a regulation, breaches the constitution. Sabi, see breaching on your it doesn't make it right today. So the suspension of the Chief Justice, right, to begin with, in the absence of a regulation or a law to guide the power of the president to suspend the Chief Justice under Article 296, under Article 14610, is a breach of the Constitution. Secondly, what went into the suspension, right, was it done in a manner which is fair and candid? How are we supposed to know? Because the thing, right, is in camera. It is the more reason why there ought to be a regulation for the performance of that duty. So what I say. The fact that it is in camera, no, it is the more reason why it cannot be done in the absence of a regulation, a published regulation, which informs Ghanaians that this is the procedure by which a Chief Justice may be suspended by the president. These are the grounds upon which he might be suspended. So what I say.
Yeah, but now, Oshe 296 na lawyer. The exercise of discretionary power generally. When you come to 14610, specifically when it comes to the CJ, actually what should happen in suspending the CJ, and it says the president on the advice of the Council of State may. If the president has gotten the advice from the Council of State, which is a requirement, now the president is minded to want to go ahead with a suspension until especially when it comes to CJ. Yes. Yes.
Does it cease to be the exercise of discretionary power simply because he's receiving advice from the Council of State?
No. But there is an express mention.
Okay. This is constitutional interpretation.
Sure.
Okay. 2961, right? Does it say subject to 14610?
No.
Does it say that?
No.
Does it? So it doesn't make exclusion for the president's exercise of power under 14610. So what I say, you see, it is talking. The only exception in here is the exercise of discretionary power by the judiciary or by a judge or a judicial officer.
Yes.
So if it was making an exception for the president under 14610, it would have said subject to 14610. Go through the Constitution. You see, constitutional interpretation, there must be harmony among the various parts of the Constitution.
Yes.
So what I say.
Yes.
And so go through the Constitution. Wherever an exception is created, it does so. Right? By either stating so expressly or stating subject to.
Omanhene Jina Soy Article 1466 of the Constitution. Or the Krata and a Minister for Government Communication, Felix Ofosu Kwachi Ofosu MP. And was say, Enipa Enumi and Mranoma Nekwan. Nenipa Justice Gabriel Scott Puamine, Justice of the Supreme Court. Justice Kwame Edibu Asiedu, Justice of the Supreme Court. Emrani so on for Supreme Court Justice Mienu. Na bakonya chairman. Enti Puama di kan dem so na chairman. Daniel Yaudomlevo, former Auditor General. Major Flora Bazwanura Dalugu, Ghana Armed Forces. Professor James Sefa Diza, Associate Professor, University of Ghana. Omanhene say, pursuant to Article 14610 of the Constitution, in accordance with the advice of the Council of State, the President has by a warrant suspended the Chief Justice with immediate effect pending the outcome of the committee's proceedings. And by a warrant. Now, one of the leakages of Chief Justice a year intercepted him and say, Mamini to Kaya, one for a yanko, ne security. Ape, Osaka Bruchim Swa. Now I say one way, you know. Obogana currently 9,600. There we see this.
9,696.
Because now was say, oko baby bienupe, oko baby bear 9. You take it, you know. Omo calculate here, no. Now I boka
96 million abetos.
96 million abetos. Aye.
96 million abetos.
And omo ebo judicial secretary no so bo. Say, I don't know so she say. Sa ne ma no nkoso. Ti kwadu ba ko no no. Eyiba. Ya minority enso so onom nam krata so say your mama e dey na yi. Ti wa ti dey wuye your mama. Minority for almost say your mama ti mama ya do ani asirisi. No almost say your mama na. Je mensan the strong train or mo pe wo.
Jom do mensan ko say
mama we no. Omo nim say so omo the petition no ko say only je mensan no mfi wa la lie. Because the Chief Justice has the authority to decide whether a prima facie case can be established when it comes to the Electoral Commission.
Oh, sir.
Yes. Ghana Mrano. Chief Justice Nebecha say, and some non kind of dimu and I say dimu. So my penny was so much Chief Justice on near you may be able. Oh, and the Chief Justice Mom the Betty Committee.
And to my free queen with the
minority system, I'm in your free one man.
The free.
Now, no, your mama, opportunity, I DJ Mensa Sanema.